Well, hey there. Welcome to day 6 of my 90-day journey using the 4Q Boundaries basic fundamentals. Um, you can see I'm in a different environment than my previous videos. I'm actually just finished a full day of work, and I figured I would demonstrate the fact that you can use these audios anywhere. So I'm in my office. I figured I would use the audios to help clear out all the clients I saw today, as well as just to recenter myself so that way when I go home, I'll be in the present moment versus maybe still thinking about some of the people I worked on today. So anyways, little check-in before I start my meditation. I had a great night's sleep. Woke up, rested. Haven't had any food yet today. Still, like I said, I'm doing intermittent fasting, but I feel great. Energy levels are awesome. Loved my clients today. It was fun working with them. I work, by the way, also as a craniosacral therapist. So that's actually part of the foundation of the language within 4Q Boundaries. Comes from my meditation background as well as being a craniosacral therapist. My training is through Upledger Institute. And I just noticed when I was working with clients this marrying of my meditation as well as the manual therapy of craniosacral therapy. And that's really where I developed the language of the physical body, communication, emotional body, mental body, and spiritual body, because those were things I was noticing on the table. And the physical body is, the text is real. When I'm working on clients, it's a physical communication. It's touch, it's palpation. So when I talk in 4Q boundaries language, so to speak, it's that type of communication. It's are you in touch with your physical form? Can you be aware of the movement of your spleen, your pancreas, your liver, your kidneys, your bones, your skin, all the different parts of you? And we'll go into that in a different segment. That's not today. And I've also talked about it in other videos as well as blog posts. But since I'm in my office, that's sort of where I'm sort of coming from right now. So anyways, check in again. I sort of deviated a little bit. Everything was great. I'm in a great space. Looking forward to listening to my audios. I have no clue how long I'm going to go. My goal is to do one cycle, so about 25 minutes. But if I find stuff that I need to work on more, I'll do more. It all depends. I have time to do that. And then just to let you know, after the end of this segment of the video, I'll be giving you a segment of the 4Q Boundaries grounding, because we're still in the strength training mode. So I'll give you a different color to focus on today. And then once we go through that, then it'll be a summary of what I experienced while I was doing this meditation, finding my space, releasing stuff today. And today is day 6. So this is the last day of the strength builders. And then tomorrow is day 7, which will be the challenge, which will be fun because tomorrow is another full day. So I'll probably do this video at the end of the day as well, just so that way I can clear out the day. With the challenge, I like to take more time, and I'll talk more about that tomorrow. So anyways, I will see you on the other side. Well, welcome to the second segment. I think today we're going to be working on grounding at yellow. So enjoy your meditation at yellow.
Let's change your grounding cord to a yellow. Notice the base of your spine and notice that connection with your grounding cord. and allow that grounding cord to go all the way down to the center of the planet and have it firmly connected into the center of the planet. And you can notice the distance from the base of your spine to the center of the planet. And really recognize the distance. And notice your body. Notice that weight of your body, knowing that gravity is keeping you in your chair. And gravity continues to pull not only you into the chair, but continues down your grounding cord. And just experience that gravitational pull all the way down to the center of the planet. Allow yourself to be connected. And you can notice the thickness of your grounding cord. How dense is it? How wide is it? Allow yourself to have a nice, firm grounding cord. And as you're being grounded with this yellow grounding cord, I'd like you just to notice, what are you noticing physically, emotionally, mentally, spiritually? What happens to you as you're grounded using a yellow grounding cord? And just notice your body, notice your breath, notice how relaxed you are. And if there's any place within you that you notice discomfort, be it physical, emotional, mental, or spiritual, allow this grounding cord to help you release those energies that are creating the discomfort. Allow your body just to let go.
Well, I'm back. Today was a really fascinating day. I used I worked with yellow, the bandwidth of yellow, and one of the things that I found was really, really fascinating was close my eyes. First color was yellow. And then next thing I know, I hear the word lemon. And I'm like, lemon? Did I start on lemon? And I realized I just completely went unconscious for about 5 minutes right after the meditation started. And I was like, maybe I started at lemon and not yellow, which is like I didn't. I just went unconscious for that period of time. Reason why? I have no clue. Doesn't really matter. And then from that level, it was great because I was just really focused on my body. I was really connected with my body, and today's visuals were really interesting today. So the colors themselves, the bandwidth that I created, the colors are pretty close, and so today I was like I'd open my eyes, look at the color. Just because it's like, okay, is that yellow or is that lemon? Because they're sort of close in colors. And I'd close my eyes again and then visualize the lemon grounding cord. But I noticed it was fascinating because when I started doing that, I really had to sort of create a visualization of, when we talk about the length of the grounding cord from the base of the spine to the center of the planet, I really had to sort of pan out and sort of see the imagery in front of me, sort of like watching a television set, and really noticing the distance between those 2 points and having that connection. Because I noticed when I started grounding at lemon, because yellow I was already sort of unconscious too, I noticed it just felt like my grounding cord wasn't going that deep into the earth. And so, and I could tell that it wasn't going that deep. So I had to sort of switch my awareness so that way I could see it and then really start to notice that distance, because the center of the planet is not close to your body. And so that awareness of like, wow, this is really a far distance away from my body, and can I have these two solidly connected using that color? And so throughout the whole cycle of colors, I was really aware of just the distance between those 2 points and then changing the color when I did that. The other thing that I found was fascinating, that I think it was the third audio in, I can't remember exactly which. I think it was in gold, which is the third audio. My attention really went into my spine itself. And then next thing you know, I started noticing that my spinal cord it went to gold. And so not only was my grounding cord at gold, but then my spinal cord, and it didn't go all the way up to the base of my skull either. I sort of noticed it was about around neck level. The whole thing just went to gold itself, and I was like, oh, that's interesting. Still felt really grounded. It was just that area itself matched the grounding cord. And I noticed that for the other 2 colors after the gold, it sort of stayed that awareness of that. But then what it also did was I noticed is that the attachment to the center of the planet, it started creating roots. And so instead of just having this anchor sort of locked into it, next thing you know, I started noticing this root system coming out. And I was like going, oh, that's really fascinating. And then next thing you know, I started noticing this root system within my spinal cord. And guess what? That, peripheral nervous system. But I just started noticing that I had these roots coming out, and it was actually starting to go throughout my body and even in my legs, where everything was just really being attached to that grounding cord. And it was all matching at the same color, which I was like, oh, that's really fascinating. And then there was other points in time. I don't remember exact moments. I remember one point there was like a cartoon thing going on. There's this dialogue that was happening, and The moment I became aware of it, I was like going, oh, wow, I'm in the middle of a cartoon. Don't know why, don't know what it was, didn't care. I just put down my grounding cord. There was a couple other scenarios where I was just noticing that, I would lose consciousness of my body and went into a different scenario, having a dialogue with somebody. And I was like, oh, interesting. It's not following the audio. Remember, 3-step process. Just put it down my grounding cord. And so there was a lot that was happening today that was different than the other videos that I was sharing with you. And that's sort of the neat thing about doing the skill builder and doing it consecutively, day by day, is that it changes. It always changes. And that's sort of the neat thing is, I'm in a different environment. I'm in a different place. My life experience from yesterday to today was added because I'm still alive. So with that, it stirs up new things within me. And so when I meditate, I come to meditation with that curiosity of like, well, what am I going to notice today? Because I just don't know, which makes it fun because it's not about being perfect. It's called, as I close my eyes and I go within, well, what am I experiencing? What am I noticing today? And because the training is on gaining clarity and ownership of this specific tool, which is grounding, I'm really taking new layers of ownership of that grounding. Now, if you're brand new to meditation and this is like, you're like listening to me, it's like, I've never experienced any of those things. That's okay. Because remember, notice what you notice. And how you experience this is your own journey. I mean, when I first started doing meditation and exploring these things, I had really not a lot of awareness. I was one of these kids that my thoughts bounced all over the place. I mean, any distraction, it's the squirrel mentality. Basically, squirrel, where? Squirrel, where? And so, it's taken me time to develop the awareness of realizing that all the stuff around me are distractions, and what they do is they keep me from paying attention to what I'm experiencing. And so this is part of the benefits of really meditation and discovering what's going on within you, is that it's a unique dialogue that changes every day, every moment, and it's just a matter of having that patience to do it. And just a reminder too, it's like, and I've done this myself. If you're overstimulated, let's say you've had a really tough day and you just know that you're going to fall asleep for the whole time because your body's exhausted, get up, move. You can go for a walk and listen to an audio and notice, can you walk while you're focusing on your grounding? So now you're not doing a closed-eyed meditation where you're going within, but at the same time, there's enough stimulus that's keeping you aware of what's happening around you as well as what's happening within you. So you're learning that balance. Because to be honest, this style of meditation is really designed you can use these tools all the time. When I'm working with clients, I'm using my tools. When I'm in my car, I'm using my tools. And that's the whole point, is that the goal is can you have your space and your boundaries 24/7, as well as recognizing that, you lose your awareness of those things too. And can you be okay with that? Because when you lose your awareness, guess what? You can gain it again. But because when the moment you go, oh my gosh, I totally went unconscious to all this stuff. But guess what? You just became conscious to unconsciousness. That's it. That's it. So have fun with this. And tomorrow's the big challenge day. So I'm looking forward to seeing what happens. And I'll talk more about that tomorrow. So have a good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night, whatever time you're seeing this video. And like, share, comments. appreciate your support with this channel and the message that I'm trying to give to everybody. So take care.